will not bend. Run it up, 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 run it up. You gotta put in that work, dog.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This one taken just inside the 10. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Locke going to throw on the first play. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip, and I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
To throw on second and 10. Locke, and Walker has it. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on third down, Locke going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
First carry here for Ken Walker. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. Oh, they'll get this to Metcalf on the jet sweep. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Play action now, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. A solid stiff arm. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Here's Pollard again. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Walker. They find some open field here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ken Walker touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Cowboys had 8 and 5 to start play. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. And again, it's Prescott.
They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Prescott to throw on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 2nd and 13. Locke. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll go for it. It's Locke. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Now a give here to Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
This throw left side is caught by Tolbert. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Going to run again here with Pollard.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
If this were baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
4th down, Prescott. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen
picks it. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 60 yards. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Block now to throw. Flush. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Micah Parsons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
2nd down and goal. Lock. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant from 19 yards away.
And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns.
What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Myers connects on the PAT. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Prescott now from the 50. It's caught. Tolbert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A 1st down throw for Prescott.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the red zone now, Prescott. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Prescott steps away to his left. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Eric Ebron in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Cowboys are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Throwing on first down is Locke. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's at the 40, the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
That's good for 28 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 29-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you're expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Consistent, made up my mind that no matter what I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot.